The empty seat asterisk. Every species in the galaxy had a seat in the Grand Council chamber. Some chairs were wide and made of stone for massive insectoids. Some were built from water-holding gel for aquatic beings. Some floated in midair. All were unique. All were used, except one. At the far end of the hall, past the glowing banners of 300 civilizations, one chair remained untouched. Sleek, black, silent, its nameplate simply read, Earth. No one sat there. No one even walked near it. New ambassadors, we're told, don't ask. But they always did. A young diplomat named Thaler, from the bird-like Urasi race, stared at the empty seat during his first council meeting. He leaned toward the elder beside him. Why is that one empty? He whispered. The elder's feathers fluffed up in fear. Because it's Earth's seat, he said. And Earth doesn't come anymore. But why? Where are they? The elder didn't answer. He just looked away. The session began. Delegates debated trade routes and military patrols. But Thaler kept glancing at that chair. It seemed darker than the others, colder, and somehow. Watching him, after the meeting, Thaler searched the public archives. What he found shocked him. 83 years ago, humans had arrived at the Galactic Council. Their ship was old but strong. Not flashy, just sharp. It had no weapons showing. No ambassadors stepped out at first. Just machines that scanned the entire building. Then, finally, 2 humans walked in. One male, one female. No guards, no smiles. They took their seat silently, watched everything, spoke to no one. After exactly 1 hour, they stood and left. No goodbye, no request, no deal. They were never seen at the council again. Thaler blinked. That was it. No reason, no war. He dug deeper. Rumors flowed in hidden files. Ships that tried to follow the humans never returned. One warlord, who joked on public broadcast, saying, Earth's just dirt, died in a freak accident. 3 days later, his ship's core melted from the inside. A peace envoy that landed on Earth's moon vanished. Their last message, we see lights in the sky, and music. No one could explain it. No one dared go back. Thaler found an old video recording, a secret one. Grainy footage showed a high-level council session. A message had arrived from Earth. The human voice was calm and cold. We will not join your wars. We do not need your unity. We are not here to lead, follow, or obey. Then silence. The file ended. The room in the video was quiet. No one moved. Even back then, they had been afraid. Thaler shivered. Earth had never threatened anyone. Never attacked. Yet entire empires treated that empty seat like it held a god. Later that night, he spoke to his mentor, Elder Syrinx. I don't understand, Thaler said. Why fear them if they never act? Syrinx looked tired. Because they don't act with anger. They act with purpose. He paused, then added, and when they do act, there are no survivors. Thaler frowned. But we have stronger fleets, now new tech. Hundreds of allies. Earth has none. Exactly, Syrinx whispered. They have no allies. And yet, we keep their seat untouched. Thaler fell silent. Elsewhere, on the edge of the galaxy, a mining colony sent a distress call. Unknown signals. Flickering lights. Machines shutting down. One word kept flashing on every screen. EARTH. By the time a council fleet arrived, the colony was gone. No explosion. No remains. Just quiet dust and a black coin sitting on the control desk. The coin had no design. Only one line etched in perfect human text. We warned you. Back at the council, Thaler entered the chamber early the next day. He walked toward Earth's chair, slowly. His steps echoed. One guard reached out, afraid. Don't go near it, he said. I just want to see. Thaler replied. He stood before the empty seat. There was no dust, no scratches. It looked new, cared for, but no one had touched it in 83 years. Then, for just a moment, he thought he heard something, a low hum, like a deep voice whispering through stone. He blinked. The sound vanished. He stepped back quickly. Later that day, a council member from the Keller Dominion asked, should we remove the seat? If Earth is not coming back, no? Said 3 voices at once. Velrix, the oldest delegate, spoke gently. That seat is not empty because they are gone. It is empty because they are watching. Everyone stared. He continued, humans don't sit in rooms like this. They sit above them. The lights dimmed slightly, as if the room itself heard him. Thaler said nothing, but deep inside, he finally understood. The chair was never empty by accident, it was empty by choice. The Council's fear the screaming started just before dawn. On a remote space station orbiting the planet Zelmar, a young alien technician named Dravo was locked inside a private lab. He had broken into a hidden file buried deep in the Council's archive. The file had no title, no code, just one word. EARTH. His eyes widened as he watched the old footage. It showed human ships that didn't use fuel. They floated in silence, moving like shadows across black space. Then another clip, something worse. An alien warlord yelling into a human recording probe, mocking them, threatening Earth. The video, glitched, then static, then screams. Dravo fell back from the screen. The lights in the lab went out. His comms device exploded in sparks. The walls began to vibrate. A low hum filled the room like a warning. An hour later, Dravo was gone, vanished without a trace. The only thing left in the lab was a melted coin, placed carefully on the desk. It was smooth, black, human-made. A single message was burned across it: don't look where you're not invited. The Council called an emergency session. High Chancellor Koval stood at the center. His face was pale. This is the third unexplained human event in 6 months, he said. We cannot continue to ignore Earth. General Raxel, a war veteran with scars across his face, stepped forward. We've made a mistake, he said. We thought silence meant weakness. It does not. Velrix, the oldest among them, added, Earth was never silent. It was simply listening. The room fell quiet. A new message had arrived, sent from an unknown point in space. No origin, no source. It simply appeared on all their secure channels at once. You have asked too many questions. Be still. We are not your enemies yet. Some ambassadors panicked. Others called for fleets to be readied. But none could trace the message. Every attempt to track the signal failed. One ship, trying to follow it, melted mid-flight. In a silent blue flash, Thaler sat in the back of the chamber, watching, listening. He remembered standing near Earth's seat. That quiet hum, that invisible pressure. He now knew it hadn't been his imagination. Something had noticed him, tried to calm the room. Perhaps we can open talks again, offer Earth peace, trade a seat at the table again. Raxel shook his head. They don't want our seat. They left it behind, Velrix whispered, and we should thank them for it. The young ambassador from the Feliari race stood up. Nervously, we have over 300 united worlds. Our technology is vast, our fleet's massive. Are we truly saying one planet scares us all? Yes, Raxel said, without hesitation. Because they don't need fleets, or allies. They don't invade. They simply ... remove threats. A long silence followed. Thaler raised his hand slowly. What do humans want? Velrix turned to him. They wanted peace. We gave them politics. They wanted silence. We gave them surveillance. They wanted freedom. We called them dangerous, Koval added. And now, they watch from the shadows, deciding if we deserve to exist. A soft alarm buzzed on the wall. A hologram flickered to life. The Earth seat was glowing. Bright white, pulsing slowly. No one touched it. No one went near. But everyone saw. Thaler whispered, does that mean they're coming? Velrix didn't blink. No. That means they're already here. Council guards scanned the chamber. No one had entered. No doors had opened. But the room felt heavy. As if something was standing between them. Listening. On a moon base near the Galactic edge, another report came in. A pirate crew had intercepted what they thought was a lost human cargo pod. They opened it and laughed. Inside, they found nothing but a small recording device and a map of the galaxy with certain stars marked in red. They laughed again. 2 hours later, their ship disappeared. Their planet lost power. The red stars on the map. Every one of those systems went silent. No comms, no movement, only static. The map wasn't a warning, it was a list. Back at the council, fear turned to silence. Chancellor Koval finally stood. Talon said, no more questions. We leave Earth alone. From this point forward, no contact. No provocation. No missions. Earth is to be left in peace. No one objected. Velrix added one last sentence. The seat remains. Until they choose. Otherwise, that night, Thaler stood in the dark, looking at Earth's chair. It no longer looked like furniture. It looked like a gate. Not just to a species, but to something deeper, something older, something far beyond ships and armies. Humans didn't demand control of the galaxy. They simply proved they didn't need it, and that was more terrifying than any warlord. Humanity's silence ends. The council chamber stood silent. No one spoke. No one moved. The Earth seat at the end of the hall still glowed white, calm, waiting. For the first time in 83 years, something was different. Then it happened. A door behind the chair opened. Not loudly. Just a soft hiss of air and light. A single figure stepped into the chamber. One man, no armor, no weapons, no guards, just black clothes. Pale skin, calm eyes. He walked slowly, each step echoing through the massive room. The delegates didn't breathe. Some couldn't. He sat in the Earth seat, crossed one leg over the other, and waited. Koval finally gathered the courage to speak. You are ... human. Yes, the man said softly. Why now? Koval asked. Why come back after so long? The man smiled. Because you finally stopped pretending. Everyone leaned forward. Pretending what? Asked Raxel. That you're not afraid, the human answered. You are, and you should be. Whispers filled the chamber. Valor tried to read the man's face, but it gave away nothing. Calm, steady, cold. We never attacked you, Valric said carefully. We tried to welcome you. No, the man replied. You tried to control us. Like you control others. Politics, deals, threats. He looked around. But we don't play games, we just prepare. Koval raised a hand slowly. Then, what do you want? The human leaned forward. We wanted to be left alone. You couldn't do that. Another silence. Why the messages? Raxel asked. Why the warnings? The coins, the disappearances. The man's eyes darkened. Because the galaxy kept knocking on a door that wasn't theirs. He placed a small object on the table. A black disk. It hummed softly, vibrating the air. Then it projected hundreds of images, hidden footage from council, spies, military, plots, secret plans to study, weaken, or capture humans. Every delegate froze. They had all been exposed. We watched everything, the man said. We always knew. Valor's feathers twitched. But how? You have no ships in our systems. No colonies near us. The man looked at him. Because we're not out there. He pointed upward. We're above. Koval's voice cracked. What does that mean? It means we moved past this galaxy long ago, the human said. While you were fighting over borders, we broke through time. We built beyond stars. We are not your neighbors anymore. The words hit like a wave. He stood up slowly. We didn't come to make peace. Or war. We came to tell you something. Very simple. Everyone leaned in. Earth's seat will remain empty, he said. Not because we are gone, but because we are always watching. He paused, then added, and because you're not ready for what we've become, Velrix whispered. What ... have you become? The man walked back toward the door. Not gods, he said. Just the result of every war you forced on us. He turned back one last time. We asked for silence. You gave us curiosity. We asked for peace. You gave us spies. We asked to be left alone. Now, we'll decide if you're allowed to continue. With that, he stepped through the door. It closed behind him. The light from the Earth seat faded. The room remained still for a long time. No one spoke. No one moved. They all felt it. This was not a threat. It was a verdict. Hours later, a final message appeared on every council screen. No source, no reply address. Just plain human language. Be better, or be removed. Every ambassador read it, and understood. From that day forward, no mission was ever sent toward Earth again. No probe launched. No ambassador assigned. And the chair at the end of the chamber. It remained empty, but it was cleaned daily, polished, protected. No one touched it. No one even dared stand too close. Valor once asked Velrix, why do we still keep it here, if they're never coming back? Velrix smiled softly. Because it reminds us. Of what? That they don't need to come back to rule, he said. They only need to watch. The young ambassador looked down the long council hall, where the shadows of the Earth's seat stretched quietly in the light. He nodded. Sometimes the most powerful voice is silence.